Hi everybody, it's opening day at Busch Stadium. First game of the 2017 season. The world champion Cubs are in town. Now, if you want a ticket to this game, it's at least $100 after fees on StubHub. So it's a sold-out game. This is the game of the night on opening night, Sunday, April 2nd. So a lot of you will be watching this game. I'm going to simulate it here, and I'm going to play as the Cardinals. We'll see how they do. I'll also talk a little bit about the Cardinals in this episode and what you might be able to expect out of the Cardinals this season, and also probably talk a little bit about Busch Stadium. So there you see the Cubs lineup. Interesting lineup they have this year. Kyle Schwarber is the leadoff hitter. They no longer have Dexter Fowler because Dexter Fowler was a free agent, and he is actually now on the Cardinals. So that's kind of a loss because Fowler was a good player, but you've got Schwarber. Schwarber's a great on-base guy. He's not the fastest guy in the world, and here he strikes out. Kind of looks like Babe Ruth in the body type on this game. And this is going to be a base hit for Chris Bryant. Bryant was the MVP in 2016, and here he has a double for his first hit on the 2017 season. Chris Bryant's going to be a tough out this year. I could easily see him hitting 40 dingers and hitting around 300 again. Now on the mound for the Cardinals, we have Carlos Martinez. He's their new ace. He's their number one guy. We've seen Carlos Martinez make some strides over the past couple years. I still remember when he broke in the league, and he's a star now. He had a 304 run average last year, went 16-9, 174 Ks in 195 innings. He's really stepped up. Adam Wainwright has really kind of fallen off a little bit. He was injured last year. He pitched pretty much the whole season. He pitched in 33 games last year, but he really kind of stepped back. He had a 462 on run average. The new ace is Carlos Martinez. After Martinez and Wainwright, you got Mike Leake, who was really shaky last year. You got Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn didn't even pitch last year because he was injured. And you got Michael Wacha, who, if you're a Cardinals fan, you know that Michael Wacha was a huge disappointment last year. He had a 509 earned run average. And I think you're aware of what he's capable of. Just think back to 2013 when he came up. He was a beast. So the Cardinals are looking for Wacha to right the ship here this season. Also interesting with the Cardinals, they have a new closer. Sungwon Oh is going to be the new closer. He was a setup guy for most of the season last year, but he was just lights out. He had a 192 earned run average, and then once he took the closer's role over from Rosenthal, he had 19 saves. So he's known as the final boss over in Japan, and he's going to get his shot to be the guy all season long. You could look for him to maybe rack up about 40 saves. All right, so this game is flying along. We've got John Lester on the mound for the Cubs and Martinez on the mound for the Cardinals. So this is a battle of aces. We might have a low-scoring game. Here's Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty had 22 home runs last year to go with 85 RBIs. So he's a decent player. Here he tries to get his uniform dirty, but it's just a ground out. And here he is, number 4 himself, Yadi Molina. Molina's already had a busy season playing for Puerto Rico in the WBC. Here he pops up to the catcher, so not what he was looking for there. He had a really nice season at the plate last year, a 307 batting average. But he wasn't the same Yadi Molina behind the plate. He kind of slipped a little bit defensively, and the Cardinals were a little worried about him regressing, taking a few steps back. Maybe age was finally catching up to him. There was some people that were speculating that Carson Kelly could kind of step in and take over from Molina or split playing time. But there was some news today that Molina and the Cardinals are working toward a 3-year contract, which would take him into like his age 37 season. And it's not for chump change either. It's for it looks like it's going to be around $50 million or more for Molina. Now, Molina doesn't provide you too much punch offensively. He might hit you around 300 with maybe 5 to 10 homers. But, man, he knows how to handle a pitching staff. And we've seen that, those of us that have watched the Cardinals for the past 10 years plus. I'm a Pirates fan. I'm a Pirates season ticket holder. I've had to watch this guy for the past 10 years, and he is a good catcher. By the way, Yadier Molina bobblehead night is April 8th, and the Cardinals have tickets still for sale for that game for only $10 a piece. for a Saturday bobblehead game. $10. I wish that the Pirates would have $10 tickets for a Saturday game. I think the cheapest Pirates ticket for Cervelli bobblehead day on Saturday, April 8th is like $20 in the upper deck. So nice job for the Cardinals on having some really cheap and affordable tickets there. I wish all teams would have $10 tickets still, but it's becoming tougher and tougher to find tickets that are really affordably priced. I mean, if you want to take your family, my family's about to be a family of 6 come July. I'm about to have my 4th kid. I mean, taking a family of 6 to a baseball game, it's really expensive. Now, if there was $10 tickets, that would be kind of bearable. And this isn't bearable. Anthony Rizzo just homered into the bullpen there. There was kind of a questionable call right before that where it looked like he swung, but the third base umpire ruled no swing. And now the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit for Carlos Martinez. The Rizzo home run looks like this is going to be a triple here. I kind of misplayed it there with Dexter Fowler. So it's 2-0 Cubs. There's a strikeout. We needed that. That's only the first out of the inning. And this is going to get the run home. And that was Jason Hayward, who was a former Cardinal. He actually turned down more money from the Cardinals and signed with the Cubs, taking less to play on a team because he said himself that he thought the Cubs had a better shot of being relevant for longer. He kind of ripped the Cardinals a little bit, said that the Cardinals were kind of older. And I mean, he was right. The Cubs won the World Series. I just threw him out, by the way, trying to steal. It was a really weird slide by him. But I believe Hayward is getting paid $184 million over 7 years from the Cubs. And that is just crazy, especially because last year Hayward was awful. He hit $230 last year. His on base was $306, and he only had 7 home runs. And he's getting paid roughly, over $20 million a year. People like to talk about Andrew McCutchen taking a back seat and just being awful all of a sudden. Look at Jason Hayward. At least McCutchen still gave you 20 dingers and 80-plus RBIs. So Hayward's really got to try to figure it out at the plate. He's been tinkering with his batting stance. He probably has everyone talking to him, from the hitting instructor to other players to players on other teams that are telling him to try this and try that. He's just got to get out there and get his mind clear. And I don't know. He had a really rough spring. I know that. So we'll see how Hayward ends up. If you're a Cardinals fan, I wonder how you feel about Hayward. Are you glad that he's struggling and just his career is basically fading away here? Or do you feel sad for him? I mean, personally, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but not too bad because he is getting paid $184 million. All right, I'm starting to get back in the game here. Here's Johnny Peralta. He's going to rip that one. That's going to get down, and the bases are now loaded. Let's see who's coming up for the Cards. It is Jed Jerko with a line drive. That's a grand slam. And the Cardinals take the lead on opening day here. I love how they have that opening day logo painted on the fields on opening day. It just looks so nice. Opening day's just one of the greatest days of the year. It should be a holiday. Kids should have off school. Public offices should be closed. People should get work off. I'm taking a personal day on opening day in Pittsburgh on April 7th. Planning on going and seeing the Braves and Pirates. Unfortunately, the weather forecast is a little iffy right now. I think it's going to be chilly. I think it's a 50% chance of rain, but I'm going to hope that holds off. We'll see about that. And here the Cubs have a runner on base, but Grichuk's going to make the catch and keep him at first. By the way, the Cardinals have a really fan-unfriendly rule this season, brand new for 2017. You are no longer allowed to bring backpacks in the ballpark. I saw it on Twitter. You're allowed to have like tote bags, like those tote bags that they give away sometimes at the gate that have like little handles. It could be maybe double as like a little shopping bag, but you are no longer allowed to have backpacks. I think that's just ridiculous. I take a backpack to every game. By the way, since when is John Lester able to throw to first base? I thought that this game is pretty realistic, but one thing they didn't get right is John Lester throwing to first base. Like, he should just not be able to do it, because in real life, if you're not familiar with it, John Lester has the yips and he cannot throw the ball to first base. Like, he went years without throwing the ball to first base, and the couple times he did try, and there's a home run by Ben Zobrist. So the Cubs are starting to get right back in the game here. The couple times Lester did try, he just like threw the ball down the line and everything. But yeah, I was talking about the new backpack rule. You're not allowed to bring a backpack. I bring a backpack to every game. I always take my glove to the game because I show up early for batting practice and I catch a bunch of baseballs. I always make videos about it and show you all how many I catch, and it's a fun little hobby of mine. So now, I mean, if I ever go to Busch Stadium again, which, by the way, I've been to Busch Stadium, I want to say, 6 times in my life, it's going to make it kind of hard for me. I'm hoping that I can still bring a drawstring bag, and that won't be a problem. I'm going to have to read up on the A to Z guide and everything. So that's one thing that really kind of rubs me the wrong way about Busch Stadium. Also, another thing about Busch Stadium, they only open their gates 90 minutes early. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 out of 7 days. So you can't really get there early and really see batting practice. You might catch like the last group or two of the visiting team. I think every team should open their gates early enough so that you can see the home team hit. All right, Kyle Schwarber, that's foul. That's foul. Wait, it's coming back. What's this new ball physics thing? How did the ball like hook foul and then it started to come back the other way? I've never seen that before. Is that like a thing? I don't think that happens in real life. No, I don't think it does. That was weird. Unless there's like a really strong wind blowing from right to left to push that ball back. Don't really see that happen too often. So now it's all tied up 5-5. Chris Bryant strikes out. I brought in Jonathan Broxton, who, by the way, is one of the meanest guys in the game. I mean, every interaction I've had with Jonathan Broxton in the last 10 years or so that he's been up has just been awkward, and you try to say like, hey John, and it seems like he genuinely doesn't like fans. Maybe he just has his game face on at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's just my experience with him. That was a quick inning, so now the Cubs are back up. They've got a chance to take the lead here. The nice thing is, obviously, it's a home game for the Cardinals, so they will get their last ups. Maybe a chance to walk it off here in the 8th inning. That's 2 quick outs, so nice work by Broxton there to keep the Cubs off the bases. Now, I do have a lefty warming up in the bullpen. It's Brett Cecil, who is new this year. They just signed him. He was a free agent coming over from the Blue Jays. And I've also got the closer up, Sungwon Oh. Now, here's Matt Adams. Some people that don't like him call him Fat Adams, but personally, I like Matt Adams. He's from Slippery Rock, so he's kind of like a Pittsburgh guy. And this one's going to be gone. Opposite field. I did a power swing there. That one's going to get into the bullpen, into the visitors' bullpen. And now the Cardinals have the lead, 6-5. Matt Adams, I love seeing him in batting practice. He hits a lot of home runs. Seems to be a pretty good guy. Kind of feel bad for him that he's going to lose his job this year. He's a bench guy now because Carpenter's sliding over and playing first base with Peralta playing third and Diaz taking over short. So Dexter Fowler almost put another run on the board there, but a little short. And here's Diaz, who's going to pop up. So it's the 9th inning now. We've got the lead. See if we can get an insurance run here coming up. It is Matt Carpenter. Carpenter, by the way, reminds me a lot of Neil Walker. Just kind of like, I don't know, the way they bat. All right, here's Brett Cecil. Brett Cecil's a pretty decent reliever. He got good money from the Cardinals. I think that's going to be his only batter. Takes care of the lefty for me. I've got O up in the bullpen. By the way, I love O. He's the nicest guy from the Cardinals and BP. He's thrown me a few balls this season. If you've watched my videos from 2016, you saw them. Very nice guy. Let's see if he can get the job done. He doesn't have a lot of wriggle room here. And he gets the strikeout. So only one more out to go. Here we go. Final out. And that's going to be caught by Dexter Fowler. He settles underneath it. The Cardinals win opening day over the Cubs. Hey, Every winner of the Cubs helps the Pirates out, so I'm all for this. Jonathan Broxton looks like picked up the win because he's getting some hugs in the dugout. There's the outfielders, Piscotty, Fowler, and Grichuk doing their thing. And all of the Cardinals are coming out to meet on the field. And that's a wrap for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you like these opening day series. Probably do a couple more of these games. And I will see you all later.